In our last session, I began to share a discussion I had with a couple where the husband, Daryl, complained that his wife, Robin, was angry and acted like a victim, but refused to make any of the real love calls that would help her change her life. Robin complained that she didn't like Daryl trying to control her. I helped them both see how they were afraid of each other, and Robin made a commitment to tell the truth about herself to Daryl rather than to make real love calls to people she didn't know very well. Now, back to the conversation. I said to Daryl, quote, "So all that matters, Daryl, is that Robin is willing to tell the truth about herself. It doesn't matter much where she does that. She prefers not to make phone calls, but she says she'll talk to you." Daryl laughed and said, "Yeah, I tried to talk to her this morning and she wouldn't listen to a word. She got all upset and finally wouldn't talk at all." I said she was just protecting herself. And it works. When she throws her little tantrums, which is what they are, you quit talking to her. And then she can keep blaming everything on you instead of having to be truthful about herself. And then how long is it before you try to resume the same conversation? He said, "Oh, like days or a week or never." I said, "People engage in behaviors because they work. You try to tell her something she doesn't want to hear. She throws a fit. You back off. It works perfectly for her. You have to make it so that the way she defends herself doesn't work anymore, so that it doesn't get her out of hearing the truth about herself. On the other hand, you can't use this as an excuse to be unkind or to force her or frighten her." Now, let me explain something here, I continued. Usually, I recommend that people stay out of each other's business. And before one person tells the truth about another person, to that person, he or she would have to answer yes to all 4 of the following questions. 1, is this my business? 2, does this really matter? 3, can I say this in an unconditionally loving way? And 4, can my partner hear this in a loving way? But if you had to answer all 4 of these questions every time you spoke to Robin, all she'd have to do is throw one of her fits and you could never speak because of question number 4. Even if you were perfectly loving, this one question would make it impossible for you to ever tell her the truth. This is not acceptable because Robin has refused to tell the truth about herself to everyone else, leaving only you to do that. And she is quite blind to most of her behaviors. On most of the occasions when she is angry and acting like a victim, for example, she really doesn't realize what she is doing. It's not intentional. So if you wait for Robin to tell the truth about herself on those occasions, it will essentially never happen. And if you begin to point out the truth about her behaviors that have enabled her to survive for a lifetime, behaviors that she has tightly clung to without realizing it in order to keep from drowning, what are the odds that she will gladly admit to them in the beginning? Not a chance. So, I continued with Daryl, you are in a position where you simply must tell the truth to Robin on some occasions when she does not want to hear it. This is hard. Keep in mind, however, that this is in a unique situation. You have both agreed that you want to grow. You both want your marriage to improve, and Robin has agreed to let you tell her the truth. We'll continue our discussion with Daryl and Robin in our next session.